No, I'll have to look it up later. Oh, well, that was our cold open, I guess. Um,
Cold open, so chilly.
Cold open because we're fancy like that, like podcasters or something. Except this isn't a podcast, so
Man, we
hello
need to pull the
everyone.
audio.
Do what?
We need to pull the audio and make it a podcast.
Whatever. This is no fun without video.
Is it?
Because
Because we're not that interesting to look at.
yeah, but every once in a while we make references to something that you need to see. So
Oh yeah, well, so do other podcasts. And they do that thing that I don't like about live episodes of podcasts. They're like, "Oh yeah, for anyone listening at home, I just did this."
yeah, that's no fun. But that's why I don't listen. Well, before we get any further in that, hello everyone. My name is Danny,
And I'm Maya.
and you are watching Other Than Stitching. If you've looked at the other videos on this channel, you know that this is normally pretty much a channel where we talk about stitching and crafty stuff. But every once in a while, like right now, when I am in a stitching slump, we want to talk about stuff that's not stitching because I don't have anything to show or anything to talk about. So, hence, other than stitching. So, to get this started, let's say, as I said, just as I intimated just a moment ago, excuse me, I'm sorry. I have, for some reason, I have developed
Video
this
burps.
psycho, yeah, this psychosomatic thing where the minute the camera goes live, I feel like I have to burp. So I do apologize. But as I was saying, we're not doing a Saturday stitching today, this Saturday, even though we have plenty of time, because I have not felt like stitching anything for days and days and days until today when I decided to pick up the sweater, which people who have watched this before have seen the sweater 5 million times. And right now it doesn't look like a sweater, it looks like a lump because I'm holding it by its hem because
Mm.
I am working on the seed stitch hem. If you can notice that that's a different texture than the rest here.
I can see it.
So that's what I'm working on right now. Well, I turned that light on and it just washed me out even more. But I haven't been in the mood to. So anybody who normally watches these videos for the crafty bit, we're getting that out of the way up front because there's not that much crafting, and then you can feel free to turn this off and go away because I know we're not that interesting. Um,
You might not be that interesting. I, however, am a fountain of interest.
Whatever. So for me, there is no crafty stuff. I am still doing, I wanted to mention that I still plan to complete the um the Stash Buster crochet along over at the Unraveled Mitten, but I am 3 squares behind, maybe 4 squares behind at this point. Um, but I do plan to sit down because I know if I one day I'll be in the mood because not only have I not been in the mood to stitch very much, I haven't even been in the mood to watch other people's videos. So all the people I usually watch, like No Catchy Name and Yarn Joy and stuff like that, I haven't even been in the mood to watch them. Random Randy's ramblings and things like that. So I haven't even picked up. Sometimes when I watch them, I pick up the inspiration and it gets me back in the mood to stitch. But it's a catch 22. It's like you have to be in the mood to watch them,
Hmm.
but if you don't watch them, you don't get in the mood. So I've only just been in the read when I get done with my work and stuff. The only thing I've been in the mood to do is lay down and read books. So I but I have a feeling that one day I'm going to be tired of my books, and then I'm going to be like, I want to play with yarn, and I'll sit in front of Netflix and I'll just knock those squares out. I just know I will. So I
I
don't
believe in
feel,
you.
even though I'm 3 or 4 squares behind, I don't feel like I am out yet, because I know when I was keeping up with the squares were every other week, and at first I was like, "That's good." I don't feel like I'm going to fall behind because she's putting them out every other week. But then I got to the point where, okay, I'd finish a square. It would take me like 2 evenings after work to finish the square, and then I have to wait a week and a half for the
Mm-hmm.
next square. So now I have 3 squares to do. So I feel like when I finally get in the mood to sit down, because once I get in the mood to stitch, I'm really in the mood to stitch. So then I feel like once I get in the mood to sit down, I'll finish all 3 of those squares, and being able to finish something will motivate me to work on these bigger projects that take longer to finish. Because
Well,
that
it's like
sense,
craft binging.
yeah, well, you get that sense of completion that, oh, I finished something. It's hard for me to get stuck into these projects when I know, oh, I'm just going to get a few more rows done,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to be sitting here for an hour, and you're not really going to see much difference in the work that I did,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hard. Whereas with a square, you can finish and get, even if I don't finish the whole square during the little bit of time I have after work before bed,
You can see the
at least I'll finish.
progress.
You can see the progress. At least I finished half a square, and I know that the next night I'll finish the other half, and it'll be done.
Mm-hmm.
So you get that feeling of, oh yes, I've accomplished something. But so that's all there is to me. I'm working on the sweater. Hopefully, if I can stay, excuse me. Like I said, I picked up a little bit of crafty mojo today. So if I can keep going with that for the next few days, I might be able to finish this thing, because really all I have, like I said last time I brought this out, all I have is I've got about an inch left to do on this hem, and then I just have to pick up the stitches to do the neck, to
Mm-hmm.
finish off the neck a little bit more, and to add sleeves, because right now there's no sleeves here. So to add a little bit more to the sleeves.
Yeah.
So that's really all I have to do to finish this. So unless I can't talk your sister out of a front pocket, and then I gotta make a front pocket to it. But
You know she's gonna want that front pocket. I just caught a glimpse of myself in the video over there, and I realized that I'm vertical when you are not. Let's see if we can fix this.
no, you can't fix it.
Why
Stop
not?
trying. And it looks good. So
But I
why
was
your video looks
vertical.
all your video looks all clear and stuff?
Yeah, now my camera doesn't want to work. Why does my camera not work when I'm sideways?
See, because you broke it.
But it used to always work. I used to only stream sideways. I don't know why my video doesn't work when I'm sideways. I don't
Okay.
understand.
That was a different phone. That's why. That was a
Oh,
different phone.
I forgot about that.
So that's all of the yarny goodness. So if
Mm-hmm.
that's what you tune into my videos for, thank you for visiting. Maybe next week I'll have something better to show. Anybody else who wants to hang around for the rest of the video, you can listen to Maya get started on what she's been doing. Or do we want to start on what we're eating and drinking first before you get into your stuff?
Well, I'm not eating much of anything now. I finished. I was so hungry because I had
Well,
market earlier
I
today.
put in the description that you were eating dinner, so now you got to tell people what you're eating.
All right. Well, I was eating Asian food. I ate some General Tso's chicken. I had some lo mein. I had some fried rice with peas that I picked out. And now I am eating. I got a cookie tote to share with my friends um, for because we are gaming later today. Got a cookie tote to share, but I may end up eating half of this cookie tote by myself. We will
No,
see.
that's rude.
But I am going to share, and one of them can't even eat it because it's got dairy in it.
Whatever.
And I'm drinking actual water.
Good for
Hashtag
you.
not sponsored by Cuphead.
Good for you. Now, ask me what I'm eating.
What on earth are you eating?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. Even though I'm supposed to be eating healthy, I have gotten a little aggravated and discouraged this week. And so I just had a bag of barbecue chips for dinner.
You couldn't pick better chips.
Well, that's what was downstairs. Because we were trying not to buy chips. So I had to steal these chips from your brother. And and marshmallows.
Uh, those are two snap barbecue chips and marshmallows. I would never be able to just sit and eat either of those.
Although I used to be, I don't know if this is better or worse, but when I was your age, I could have sat and ate this whole bag in one sitting. And now I feel myself getting a little squeamish if I eat more than three of these in a row without taking a break.
Yeah, I can eat
So,
four, maybe five marshmallows tops, and then I'm like, nope, we're done with marshmallows for like a month. Marshmallows
no,
just aren't that kind of thing that I can like down unless I am like seriously craving a sweet and there's nothing else in the house.
I'm not even really craving a sweet. It's just I feel like I needed to put something in my body because if we're going to sit here for an hour talking to each other
Hmm.
and I can't go downstairs and cook myself something to eat, which let's be real. Another reason I'm eating this is because I don't feel like cooking. I don't have enough energy to stand in front of the stove and cook an actual meal because it would involve me having to cut up some chicken and stir fry some cauliflower rice and all that kind of stuff, stir fry vegetables. I don't have the energy for that. And we stopped. Ooh, we do have a frozen pizza. No, 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 no. See, I need to eat the chicken and the vegetables. That's what I'm trying to aim towards. But
Hmm.
every so I stop buying the other stuff, but then I get to weeks like this where I do not have the energy to stand in front of the stove and cut up meat and saute vegetables and turn it into a meal because that's going to take me at least 30 minutes. But I've gotten rid of all the quickie things because I'm
Hmm.
trying not to eat as many carbs and stuff. So I got rid of all the bagels and stuff like that, and I'm trying to avoid. I mean, I guess I can make myself a sandwich that has meat on it.
That sounded so pitiful. I
What?
guess I could make myself a sandwich. You look so pitiful, so
But it's not.
discouraged.
But it's not healthy. I know that the chicken and the vegetables would be healthy, but I don't have the energy to do it. I never have the energy
Yeah, if you don't eat the chicken and the vegetables, they don't do anything for you.
Well, they don't do anything for me anyway because if I cook the chicken and vegetables today, it's not going to miraculously give me the energy to cook them again tomorrow.
But if you cook a bunch of them today, you won't have to cook them tomorrow. Just pop them in the microwave.
Ugh, that's not true.
Yes, it is. What do you mean?
Whatever.
Sigh.
So, and I'm drinking water with almost a flavoring packet in it because I put the
Oh,
flavoring packet in it and then I water it down and then I water it down and water it down. So it's almost flavored water, not quite.
I don't
It's,
understand how you do that.
it's mostly plain water
Ew.
because I hate plain water.
Me too, but I'm
So
drinking
if
it.
if I put even a tiny bit of the flavoring packet in it, it to me is better than drinking plain water. I just wish it was colder. If I'd
Oh,
eaten
my
real
water is
food,
ice cold because I just got it out of the fridge.
if I'd eaten real food, then I could be drinking wine right now.
Wine. I don't have any wine left. I should probably go
I,
out and get another bottle of Moscato.
I still have that. I still have that third of a bottle of mix downstairs. Plus, I have a whole bottle of Arbor Mist downstairs. So,
Ooh, what flavor Arbor Mist did you get?
I can't remember. I think it was like a strawberry something something. It wasn't peach.
Ooh, that sounds good. Strawberry sounds good though.
But
Anyway,
so, do you have any, now that we've enlightened the people on the junk we've been eating, do you have any crafty stuff to tell us about?
yes, except my camera seems to have gone out again.
Well, that's not cool.
I'm not sure what's going on with this phone. I'm having all kinds of just issues and stuff. Because I was going to show the henna that I have on my hands and stuff, but I guess I'll talk about scheduling things until we get that settled. Um, so I went this past Tuesday. I went down to the Forest Fair, which is the craft shop down the road from me. She lets me use her back room for appointments and things, and and we set up basically like a mini body art session kind of thing. So I told, because I was supposed to have two appointments that day anyway, and then one no, both of the appointments ended up having to reschedule that day. So I just told, like, I put on my Facebook and Instagram, she put on her Facebook and Instagram that I was going to be there from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. and if anybody wants to stop by, and we posted it like several days in advance so people could like see it and make plans and blah blah. And I had several people show up. It was super fun. I brought my little baby TV down there and brought Just Dance, and she brought her Wii and her two little kids, her youngest two kids, and we hung out and played Just Dance until people showed up, and then they played Just Dance while I was doing head on people, and like some one lady, Jamie, she babysits some other kids, and so she brought her kids and some of the kids that she was babysitting, and so they were playing Just Dance while I was doing tattoos on the two girls that wanted tattoos. It was pretty fun, and I
Oh,
did pretty well. I made like $50 just for like because I'd like for a day when I would have been just down there hanging out anyway. So I made 50
oh,
bucks, $50, which was pretty cool. And then I had another appointment, or I had a proper appointment the next day that went pretty well. And I've got some stuff coming up. I'm wanting to schedule another like little body art session thing down at the Forest Fair again since it went so well. Because she said that people have been asking when I'm gonna do that again because they want to come back down. So that's good. But I'm
well,
worried.
when she does that, does she make any sales of her other stuff in the store while you're
Yeah,
doing the body art stuff? Does that draw
yeah.
people
She
in to
did
buy
have
her other stuff?
She did have some of the people that came for me, like the kids that came with Jamie that didn't get tattoos. A lot of them got because she sells like candy and stuff in the front, and so a lot of them bought like candy and stuff. And I think a couple people bought up a couple other things as well. So that was
Oh,
good.
cool.
Yeah, I always ask her after I do something down there. I'm like, did you at least make a few sales from the people that showed up for me? And she usually does, which is good.
Okay, good, good, good. So while your
But
camera is up, did you say you had a henna that you wanted to show?
oh yeah, so I've got it just went away again. What is going on?
I don't know.
I
Well,
don't know
continue to
either.
talk.
Okay.
Continue
Well,
to
I'll
talk.
keep
So
talking and
who
I'll
here about our technical difficulties? So continue to talk.
yeah. So there it is. Here, while the camera's up. So I've got one henna on my hand.
Oh, that's lovely.
This one and it goes turning my arm. It goes
That's
that's an awkward
lovely.
position to hold my arm. And then
Yeah.
I've got this one on the palm of my hand, which is fun. And then I've got oh no, turning
Yes.
camera. Oh no. I can't. It's it's just gonna be upside down. But I drew another tortoise. I drew the oh you what?
All the swirly bits. There you go.
Oh yeah. It was super fun. I drew
You
another
didn't see
tortoise
the
that
part. You
it's
didn't
it's
show the
really hard to show
TARDIS.
just because of the oh here. It's just hard to see because of the positioning on my arm.
Yep.
But I'll
Yep.
tilt the camera down later once we're not dealing with a bunch of nonsense anymore. But the TARDIS was pretty fun because I did the outline in henna, and then I took the paste off, and then I filled it in with the glitter, which was fun. It turned out pretty well, but it's in a high friction zone, and so I rode my arm like this a lot just from moving and work and all kinds of stuff. And so a good bit of that
Yep.
glitter on the bottom of the TARDIS has faded. But we'll see how long it lasts. That was pretty fun though. I've been doing some studies on. I've decided to try to do some studies on like particular henna artists that have elements that I like, so I can like work on those elements and incorporate them into my own stuff. So I've been doing a lot of um, watching and an inspiration by Mendika Joey henna on Instagram. I think she just goes by Joey on like Facebook and other stuff, but that's where I usually see her is on Instagram. But I've been looking at some of her designs, and there's like one particular flower that she does that I really like, so I've been using it in a few other things, which is super fun. And then I'm worried about July though, because I'm trying to schedule stuff and get like and be busy in July. I don't have any festivals for July. I don't have any festivals for August. No, I do have one festival for August. I don't have any festivals for July, but I am going back home to stay with you the second week of July. I have one appointment for that so far. A bunch of people liked the post, a bunch of people like favorited, and several people shared the post, but I only had one person set up an appointment for for that visit. So I guess it's just
So
not.
then you just need to visit your family. You don't need to be working. That's what that is.
I guess, but man, if I'm already down there, why can't I just make some money? I got to pay for this cruise, man. We just had to take Wayne to the doctor again because we took him to the doctor a little while ago because his jaw was swelling up because he has a tooth infection. They gave him antibiotics, but we don't have money to take him to the dentist to get it pulled. And then very shortly after that, we had to take him to the doctor again because his eye was swelling up. And we didn't know what happened. It turns out we think that he when we were fixing something with the car, he either got car oil or coolant or something on his hand, and he
Yeah.
washed his hands, but it must not have gotten off completely because it seems like he rubbed his eye and it irritated his eye. So his eye and like his the other side of his face too was starting to swell up. It was really really bad. So we had to
Yeah.
take him to the doctor for that, and now his tooth is it seems like it's swelling up again. We need to go get it pulled, but we just really don't
Yeah.
have money for that. So we're gonna have to take him again to get antibiotics because at this point it is like the infection has started spreading again. So we're gonna have to get antibiotics again. But man, all this stuff, and we got to pay for this cruise, and I got to go to the doctor next month. But anyway, on top of all that and scheduling appointments and things, so I did a block party a couple weeks ago. It was for there's this place called the Cascade Lounge, and it's this little restaurant bar lounge area for a certain neighborhood in Asheville.
Hmm.
And so they're doing a series of block parties through the year. Like this month it's going to be a block party for these three streets, and this month is going to be a block party for these three streets, and they're like inviting
Hmm.
people to come. And so I did it last month. I did it a couple weeks ago, and
Hmm.
it went really well. I made like $70. It went really really well. I wanted to do the one for next month, but it's on the 20th. So that means on that day I have been scheduled or asked to go to the farmers market, the Cascade Lounge block party, my friend's wedding from work, my friend from work's wedding, and there's a baby shower of someone down near where you live, and her baby shower is it's all on the 20th. All of those
Oh,
things are the same day. Yeah. So there's two things that I definitely am not going to be able to make it to, and I'm real bummed. I won't be able to make it to the baby shower, even though I really wanted to, but that would have been the very last thing because that's a 2 hour drive down to see you
yeah.
and or to go stay with you to set up for the baby shower and 2 hour drive back. So and then I'm not gonna be able to do the block party because I promised her that I'd be able to go to this wedding, and
Yeah.
it's just man big old bummer. Even though like I made a good bit of money at the
Well,
last one. Mm,
you need to, you were saying off mic to me before, you were saying that, you're going through a period of life right now where you don't have a lot of friends and whatever. So going to these things that you've been invited to, like baby showers and weddings and stuff like
mm,
that is more important than just always
yeah.
taking the things that are going to make you money.
Yeah, and
So
that's what I'm trying to do more of because like it's just frustrating that everything fell on the very same Saturday.
yeah.
Like there are 4 Saturdays in the month, and y'all all chose the same one.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, sometimes life happens like that, and you have to make choices. You
Yeah,
have to make
but
choices. So, do you have a list? I have a couple things that I jotted down on my list to talk about if we did a video today. So, do you have things that you want to talk about, or shall I just sally forth?
I've got a small list. They're like quick talking points, so we can go back and forth. I've got it on my phone, which since we're not talking on Facebook, I could actually bring up now.
Okay. Well, we'll just do what we normally do, which is I'll read two or three. I'll read what's on my list, and you tell me what you want to hear about because we probably won't get to everything anyway. Okay, so I've got Angel and Buffy TV shows,
Hmm.
Escape the Night on YouTube, or the books I've been reading.
Let's go with Angel and Buffy.
Okay, so that's not going to be too terribly long. I watched there was a 20-year reunion special on. I watched it on YouTube. I don't know if these things come on TV or not. They're made by Entertainment Weekly, and they do these breaks in it that make you think it was on TV at one time.
Hmm.
But this was like a recent special, and I've never seen them anywhere on TV. I've only seen them because I've watched some other ones too where they've done reunion specials of like the cast of such and such an old TV show.
Hmm.
And I don't they do breaks like it was on TV. So I don't know if they make it just in case they're gonna put it on TV or find a place to put it. But I don't think Entertainment Weekly has any kind of TV show. I only know them as a magazine, and because I used to subscribe to them for years from the time they first came out, the first like 3 4 years they were out, I would subscribe to them.
Hmm.
Um, but I don't know them as a TV show is what I'm trying to say. But anyway, this was a 44-minute thing, and Angel was a TV. Have you ever watched Angel?
I haven't, but I know sort of the gist of it. Wasn't Angel like a character from Buffy and it was a spin-off show?
Yes, yes, exactly.
Yeah, I haven't watched
And
Angel or Buffy. I need to watch Buffy, but I haven't.
yeah, the only reason I bring it up is because it just reminded me that I didn't have a whole lot to say about this other than to let people know in case they didn't know, like you, that hadn't watched it. Buffy, the Vampire Slayer, all the entire series is still available to watch for free on Facebook Watch.
Mm, I forgot about that.
Yep. I when I was watching the special, I went back and looked to see because wasn't really in the mood to rewatch Buffy, but I went back to look and see if it was still on there,
Hmm.
and sure enough, it's still there. And I know they had one episode that was like a musical episode that everybody talks about that I feel like I watched it but didn't pay much attention to it when I watched it when it originally aired on TV. And since then, I have become a fan of when regular non-musical TV shows do musical episodes,
Yes, those are some of
and
my favorite episodes.
people who are fans of Buffy make comments about the musical episode, and I feel like I don't remember this as well as these people do. So apparently, I did not watch it closely enough. So I've been thinking about going back to watch that episode. So I
Hmm.
might go back and watch that episode, although I don't know that I will watch the entire show, especially the last season, because I don't know if you know this about the history of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but it was on one channel. I can't remember the channels. Don't ask me.
Mm.
It was something like the UPN, or remember we talked about how it was the WB and the UPN, and those two merged, and then they became the CW.
Yeah.
So Buffy was either on the WB or UPN, and then it got canceled, and then somebody else bought them for the last season at the very last minute. So they thought they were canceled. So
Oh, so they weren't ready.
they did this great final episode. I mean, I was like tearing snotty tears. It was a good episode.
Messy
And
face crying.
yes, messy face crying. And then, and because at the time they aired it, they didn't know that they were going to get bought. And then they got bought. And then so they did another. I can't remember whether they did one more or two more seasons after that. And Daddy and I watched it, and it was okay, but I still feel like, and at the real season finale that they did eventually, didn't wasn't as emotional as the one
as
that
the
they
other
did
one.
the first time. And I feel like if I rewatched the show again, I would probably stop at that finale and
Mm.
not even watch the rest of the that last season that they did.
That makes me think of Gallivant. Have you watched Gallivant?
No, I know that you like it and you've tried to get me to watch it, but I just was it did not appeal.
Man, oh, I wish you had. But anyway, the so they thought that they were canceled after the first season. The show only got 2 seasons. They thought that they were canceled after the first season, and then they got bought on for another season. And so the first musical number in the second season is them singing, "It's a new season. We didn't think we were gonna make it, but now we're here. Hi, y'all thought we were gonna be here, but now we're here. Stop watching Game of Thrones. Stop watching The Bachelor, because we're here." Like that's the whole first number is them saying it's a new season. We didn't think we're gonna make it, but we're here, so watch it. It's so funny. Even if you
Oh,
don't watch the show, watch that song. It's so
yeah,
funny.
I'm adding that to my notes right now because I wasn't I didn't I don't know what kind of
That, 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 that-
headspace I was in. I don't know what kind of headspace I was in when Gallivant was on the air. I think maybe I had a bunch of other stuff I was watching or something,
mhm.
but I just did not feel like making room for that show. But
You should,
I feel like now I'm in the headspace that I would watch it.
yeah. At least, even if you don't watch the whole show, if you go to the first episode of the second season, start playing the episode, and it is literally the very first song. There's maybe 5 minutes of talking, and then bam, the song is in.
Well, I added it to my notes to take a look for, whatever.
Yeah.
Um, but so when I watched the that reunion special for Angel, it just made me. Um, I'm not a person to. The whole reason I was going to talk about this was just to say I'm not a person who normally likes to rewatch things, but more and more as I get older, I feel like I'm not. I don't know if it's because I'm older and I'm developing a nostalgia for things, or
Hmm.
I'm my personality is changing or something like that. But I'm at a point now that with my entertainment, with my books and TV shows and movies or something, I like to see things that follow a certain trope or a certain whatever.
Hmm.
And sometimes there are things where there's only one.
Yeah.
Like it's like sometimes, for instance, if you're in the mood to watch a police procedural, okay, those are like a dime a dozen because you got NCIS, you got the 15 million CSIs there were.
Hmm.
You can turn on your TV any time of the day or night and find an episode of Law and Order or something or other.
Mm.
If you're into exactly, if you're in the mood for a police procedural, you can find them. If you're in the mood for a medical show, you
Yeah.
know, you can find a show with a hospital. There is Chicago Med. There is I just heard. Oh, somebody just said that ER from the early '90s is on. It might be on Hulu. It's
Really?
on some. It's on some streaming service that I know I have access to for free. Let's put it that
Mm.
way. I know it's on one of them. Can't remember, and that had like 15 seasons.
Yeah.
Okay, and then you got Grey's Anatomy if you want, your if you want your hospital
Your
drama
drama.
dipped into a vat of soap suds. You've got because Grey's Anatomy is just a soap opera dressed in a lab coat.
Hmm.
But but then if you're in the mood for a western set in space,
There's only one Firefly.
there's only one. And you knew what I was saying, didn't you?
Yeah, I knew exactly what you were talking about. Because what
Because
other Western do you have set in space? With
there's
Nathan
only
Fillion.
one. There's only one. Well, some people like to say that Star Trek was a western set in space. No, no, maybe it was until Firefly came along. But there's only one Firefly, and sometimes you just
Firefly
get in
was
the mood
legitimately a Western. It's not like,
with
oh,
the space.
Western esque. It was
Yeah,
legitimately a
yeah,
Western
yeah,
in space.
exactly, exactly. And if I'm in the mood to read a book about a shapeshifter who marries a human woman, I know what authors to go to. I
Mm,
know I've got I know I've got, Terry Bullrider, and I think the other one is TK something something. I keep forgetting her name, but her first initial is T.
mm,
Um I know which ones I can which authors I can go to who are going to give me that I'm in the mood for.
mm.
know, they follow that certain trope or that certain pattern. Um, but then there's other ones where there's only one, and there's just only one. And now I'm at this age where I feel like, well, to get that feeling, I guess I have to go back and watch these shows that I know I already liked, because these
Yeah.
other shows are just not doing it for me. And that's kind
that's
of
part
how
of
I
the
started.
reason that I have that's part of the reason I've rewatched Friends so many times was because that's the only show that I know of that had that kind of dynamic that was like a bunch of different friends and everything's pretty much going to be okay at the end, and yeah, they have some drama, but it's like, and everything, and they've got all of this money from somehow somewhere, and you don't have to worry about money troubles or like that kind of drama, and nothing like no one's going to die or anything, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah, exactly. I know exactly what you mean. I know exactly what you mean.
It just felt like it was the 90s and everything's going to be okay.
I know exactly what you mean. But so Angel is available on Hulu.
Sweet. So I can watch
Yeah.
Buffy on Facebook and then Angel on Hulu.
Yes, that was the whole gist of that, to let you know that those are available just in case you want to go back and watch those. Because as your mother, I'm always trying to get you to watch the shows that we watched. I feel like as a parent, I have succeeded, excuse me, in getting you guys to try some of the music that I've listened to, but I have not succeeded in trying to get you guys to watch some of the stuff that your father and I really enjoyed when
I still want to go back and watch Charmed. I remember you guys watching Charmed, and I want to go back and watch it. I just haven't yet because I don't know, like, just like we were just talking about, I don't know what kind of drama dynamic there is, and I am not in a mood time like mind frame right now to be watching people die, people never coming back, unrequited love that spans over millennia. Like, I'm not ready for that right now.
there's not a whole lot of that in the first few seasons of Charmed. There is
Okay.
like there are because they have these demons who are coming up that they have to kill. Same thing with Buffy. There are these demons that are coming up that they have to kill, but it's like, the demon of the week,
Mm.
that you have to get rid of, that disappears into a pile of dust or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So that's there's not any really people dying and disappearing and stuff till you get further into the series,
Mm-hmm.
where it's getting where the series is starting to end and characters are starting to be written off or die off, or the actors are going other places, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But you can go through the first bit of it for a good while without having
Mm-hmm.
to deal with that.
Okay. I might check it out then. Because I need to watch things. I still need to watch that show that you told me about, the growing
Living
up.
Single.
Thank you, Living Single. I I think I favorited it on Facebook, but I haven't, or not Facebook, on Hulu, but I just haven't watched it yet. Anyway, so you want me to go through my list now?
Yep. What you
As my
got on your
camera
list?
continues to go in and out. Man, that's so frustrating. Let's see. So on my list, and some of these are just some of these are just short talking points of things that like we could like briefly talk about, and some of them are like will probably lead into a full conversation. So I have people saying "How are you" as a statement, children's birthday parties as an adult, The Lion King, Sharks in the Water, and royalty soaps. It feels like you're playing Jeopardy because you don't know what some of these mean.
Uh, I want to hear about children's birthday parties as an adult.
why am I going to more children's birthday parties now as an adult than I ever did when I was these kids' age? I didn't realize this was a thing that was going to happen to me when I'm growing up, but all of a sudden I get invited to all, like, as a child, and then as a like teen or whatever growing up, I never got invited to anything, and now I'm invited to all of these children's birthday parties and I don't understand.
Well, I think part of it is my fault because I didn't drive. So anybody who's watching this whenever, I don't drive. So I didn't drive. So I couldn't, even when you're saying you never got invited to things. You got invited to parties by some of your classmates and stuff, but you couldn't go because I couldn't take you. And your father was working all the time. Because,
Yeah, the only parties I remember going to were like family parties of, oh, your cousin's turning so and so, let's go eat cake and have a cookout. Like, I don't remember going to like other like friends that I remember from school's parties.
yeah. Yeah, because your father was not going to take off work to take you to those parties. I mean, that may be bad or not, but he wasn't going to take off work to take you to those parties. Whereas the other parties, they were his family. So it was a family obligation type
Mm-hmm.
situation. So he was going to see some of his family and hang out too. Because see, there's two different kinds of children's birthday parties. There are the there's the party, and I don't know if this breaks down along racial lines or class lines, rich versus poor or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
but there are the parties where you are throwing the party for the kids. You're making all these little goodie bags for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
You have the cake and all that other kind of stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
the mothers either drop the kid off and leave, so it's you and maybe, if you conned a friend into helping you,
You
then
and
me
20 kids.
me as the parent with 10 kids, and their parents will come pick them up later. That
Mm-hmm.
happened a lot with your sisters, because your sisters, just as an accident of circumstance, anybody who's watching, Maya went to school at a special program that was not close to our home. So she had to like ride a bus 2 hours in the morning and 2 hours in the afternoon. So
Yep.
she wasn't living in the same city as the people she went to school with, as the neighbors in our subdivision. She wasn't living in the same city as them. And then my son, who is my youngest, he went to school here, but his birthday is in the summer. So you don't get all your classmates coming when your birthday is July 1st, because you're
Yep.
not collecting phone numbers and remembering to call these people to see if they can bring the kid for a birthday party. So he got to have some birthday parties, but it was like during those few years, those 3 to 5 years when we had boys his age who lived on our street, they would
Mm-hmm.
just hop on. They just hop on over to our yard and have some hot dogs and play in the yard, and that'd be it. Because he was in elementary school, middle school. That was all they wanted to do anyway.
Yeah.
But your sisters, my twins, who are 4 years younger than Maya, they got the best benefit of birthday parties because they they went to school right down the road. A lot of their classmates were right here in this subdivision. A lot of the little girls they hung out with were in this subdivision or right outside this subdivision. So when we could have a birthday party for them, and they could invite girls in their class, and their mothers would actually bring them over. So
Mm-hmm.
their mothers would drop them off here, and we'd have 10 girls in the house, and then have some little activities for them or whatever. And then 2 hours later, their mothers pick them up. There's that kind of birthday party.
Yeah.
And then there is the kind of children's birthday party that I grew up with, that your father grew up with, that a lot of, I don't know how to say, a lot of,
Lower
I don't
middle
know,
class.
lower middle class, maybe that's how it is. I don't know. Just in my mind, parents who have money and a lot of times white parents, I hate to say it that way, but parents and parents who have money have the first kind of birthday party I was talking about, where you drop your kids off and come pick them
Mm-hmm.
up 2 hours later. I grew up, and your father grew up with the kind of birthday party where everybody came to the house, and the
Mm-hmm.
kid was just kind of an excuse to have a party.
I remember being at those parties where like I'm hanging out with my cousins and we've only met each other like 2 times, so we don't know what to talk about, and yet all the grown-ups are walking around the house talking and stuff, and I'm like, why am I even here? I want to go back
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, it's like, it's a fish fry and there's beer, although you kind of keep the beer hidden in the kitchen away from the kids. But there's beer and there's hot dogs and just a whole full out barbecue.
Mm-hmm.
And, the kid might get some presents, but they're not going to open the presents right then. It's like, happy birthday, kid. And those presents get put to the side and they can
Mm-hmm.
open them later after everybody left. And there's. Whereas the first kind of birthday party I was talking about, the big thing is, you have your little pizza or whatever, you have your cake, then everybody sits down and they open the presents and say
Mm-hmm.
thank you to all the little girls who came. And then you might watch some, as y'all got older, watch some YouTube videos or something like that,
Mm-hmm.
and while waiting for the parents to pick them up. Whereas the other kind is, it's a cookout. There's people playing spades over here in the corner. There's some music going on. So people are dancing in the yard.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, somebody's going to do the cha cha slide or something. You know, that whole thing. Nobody can see you. You got to say something.
No, 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 that doesn't need to be on camera. We don't need any of that. That's just me doing the cha cha slide slash cupid shuffle in my head. We don't need
But
any of that.
so basically what I was saying is that you didn't go to a lot of birthday parties because we didn't take you to a lot of birthday parties because I couldn't drive and your father wasn't going to take off for anything that wasn't a family
Yeah.
event. And but now you are older, and so now you are getting invited to these events yourself because you're older, and also you're at that age where your peer group is having kids.
Everybody I am keep getting invited to these 1 to like 5 year old birthday parties, and I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
man, I don't. It's not that I don't want to go and
Are they
celebrate
the
with them.
parties? Are they the parties? Are they the first kind of party, or are they the second kind of party?
It depends. So, like the last one that I went to, it was more of this. It was sort of more of the first kind of party. Like it was. It's hard to think because it feels like a cross between both. Because a lot of the parties I get invited to are for like a lot younger kids. So like first birthday party, third birthday party, something like that. So even if you did do everything for the kids, it's like I mean, they only want to do so much, and then they're just like playing with some bubbles in the yard, you know.
Yeah,
So it's I don't know, and then and I think the other issue that I have with this, and not to be because like I don't want to be rude to the person inviting me because I do want to go. I want to celebrate with you. I want to I'm so happy for you that you had this child. I'm so happy that this child's here and they're all this stuff. But one, I've only met this child once. Like I usually I've only met the child once, maybe 3 times, and with the exception of like one of my work friends, I've only met your child like once or twice. So I'm already like, I don't know, it's a little awkward because I'm celebrating a birthday party for a child that I barely know, and and then I show up at the party. We're gonna fast forward. I show up at the party, and several of these parties have been like family coming over, and so a lot of the people know each other, and then I'm just the black girl that showed up. Like
yeah,
nobody knows me, nobody knows why I'm
yeah.
there, nobody, and
That is
even if
that's
it is
exactly. Go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I was gonna say even if it is like the first or the second kind of party that you were talking about, where it's everybody coming just to hang out and talk and just a party, I still don't know anyone. Like
Yeah,
it's so weird because
yeah.
like I want to
That
come, but I only know one person, and I can't just like hog this person's attention because there's a parent
exactly.
in charge of the thing.
Exactly. Oh God, I know exactly what you mean. That's exactly what happened the last time when I went to you remember Miss Haley who used to live next door?
Yes, I keep forgetting
Well,
she doesn't still live next door to you.
yeah, no, yeah, she moved to Huntersville. Well, Huntersville is not that far from where your Aunt Terry lives.
Yeah.
So I got invited to Miss Haley's daughter's first birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
And normally I would say, and God help me, Haley, if you ever see this video, but normally I would say, oh, thank you very much, but no. But her daughter, and I don't find a lot of children cute, but her daughter is adorable. Even I,
We're gonna stop anybody that watches this video. We're gonna back up. She told all of us that we were ugly babies. She does not think that
because y'all
babies are
were,
cute. She does
because
not
y'all
think that
were,
babies are cute. She does not there and no, don't you know how
and,
everybody has a
and,
baby and as soon as you have the baby it's oh they're so adorable. No, 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 not this woman here. No, no.
and Caucasian babies are so pale. They're so pale. But this baby just has such an attitude, and the
Mm-hmm.
pictures that she takes of her all the time. Because I haven't spent a lot of time with her in person. I'm just going by all the pictures that Haley
Mm-hmm.
takes of her. My former neighbor Haley is a professional photographer, so all the pictures she takes of her, this child, just the attitude on her.
Mm.
But also, she was named after Wonder Woman.
Mm-hmm.
So uh, part of the reason I went to the party is because I wanted to make this Wonder Woman blanket, and I
Mm-hmm.
needed a reason. So, so I made her a blanket with the Wonder Woman W on it.
Mm-hmm.
People who have watched this channel have seen it because it's in one of my videos. If you go back,
Yeah.
there's a video that's just the blanket, so you don't even have to sit through a bunch of stuff. It's like a 10-minute video, I think. And so I went to this party, and of course, those who don't know, my former neighbor is Caucasian, and so I'm the only black person there. There are no other black people there.
Yep.
So so it's just me, which I'm used to this by now because a lot of the things that I like my taste in music,
Mm-hmm.
puts me at concerts, or did. I haven't been to concerts in years, but in the past has put me at concerts where I am the only black person, or I can play the game of spot the black person. There's one over there, and there's one over there, you
Man.
know, because of my taste in music. So yeah, I know that feeling of being at that party and I don't know anybody there except for the host.
Yeah.
And they do their bit to come around and talk to me and stuff. But then you have all these, all their family members going, "Oh, so nice of you to come." Because this party was totally just their family members,
Yeah.
aunts and uncles and grandmas and stuff. There
Mm-hmm.
was no like neighbors or anything like that. It was just, and she has a big family,
Oh
but
yeah.
between her and her husband, there was a big family. And luckily, I'd met her mother one time, I think, or something like that. So they vaguely recognized me as being her former neighbor, but it's still like, that's weird that you're here. You don't live next door to me,
Yeah.
you know? So I know that feeling.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 55 minutes at this point.
It's up to you if you want to cut it off. I still got stuff to talk about. I have the rest of that list there.
I am not going anywhere. We have no one in our chat room, so we're just doing
Not
this.
the entire
We,
time. It's just us.
yep, we're just doing this for ourselves. So, do you
See?
want to talk about, since we got something off your list, my list, do you want to talk about books I've been reading or Escape the Night?
Escape the Night because I wanted to watch that.
Well, perfect segue. Escape the Night All Stars, which is the fourth iteration of this show,
Mm-hmm.
starts on July 11th. Okay.
Really?
And to get you prepared for it, and it's on, for those who don't know, it's on YouTube Red. Well, let me back up a minute. Escape the Night, there is a YouTuber called Joey Graceffa. And not only is a YouTuber, but he actually is an author. He writes this young adult sci-fi type thing, which I haven't
I did
read.
not know that.
Yeah, I haven't read it because it's not on Kindle Unlimited. So, and it's not at my library. If I could find it on Kindle Unlimited or at my library, I would check it out. I would try it, but I don't think it's there. I will check again. But anyway, um, so he started um, this TV show, although it's not on TV, it's on YouTube. But he started this series called Escape the Night, which is somewhat scripted, but there is
Okay.
some improv involved. Like if you've ever watched any, um, I can't think of any movies right now. There's some movies where they are given an outline of what they want like this is what the scene is going to be, but then the actors are allowed to like.
Oh, like wasn't oh what was that movie? It had Raven Simone and it was Bridesmaids, Revenge of the Bridesmaids. Wasn't that movie like that?
I don't know because I haven't seen it.
What? I remember seeing things at the end of like bloopers at the end of them like saying lines that didn't end up getting used in the thing, them like improving lines that didn't end up getting used in the movie. So
Well,
like stuff like that.
like um some directors let actors kind of go off script just to get their yayas out.
Yeah, yes.
And occasionally that gets put in the movie, but most of the time they have to go back and do a take using the actual script.
Yeah.
But this is the other thing that makes that's the closest that this could be is um I can't remember the name of it now. Um
That show that we used to watch or that only had one season. Oh, what was that
yeah.
show? It was the
There was a show where there was a murder mystery, and
yes.
people got killed every week.
Oh, what was that show called? Because I know
And
that's the show that I was thinking about because they only did the one season and we were both upset because we wanted them to have another season.
uh,
Man, they did really
and
good makeup on that show too, of like making them look like they
I
got
cannot
murdered.
remember. I can't remember what it was called. I'm
Murder
looking it
at
up
something
now
something.
because it's gonna bother me. It's gonna bother me if I don't look at who done it.
Who done
Who
it?
done
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a show here in the for anybody who, just in case I get somebody who's not American watching this. There was a show on ABC in 2013 called Who Done It, where it was a combination of like a reality show and a scripted show because there were actors who, if this was a video game, they would be considered the NPCs,
Hmm.
non-player characters. They, who were kind of sort of leading the characters a certain way, and there were puzzles that you kind of had to figure out, you know. Um, so it was kind of sort of scripted in that the monsters that they bring in and stuff. Of course, they have to, prepare that ahead of time and stuff like
Hmm.
that. But they don't script the reactions of the actual contestants
Yeah.
because this was a game where they were going to win money.
Mm.
Excuse me. So they didn't script the reactions of the actual contestants, and the actual contestants didn't know who was going to, die or whatever.
Yeah.
But so Escape the Night, that is the closest now I think about it. Who Done It is like it's a version. Escape the Night is a version of Who Done It.
Okay. Ooh, now I want to watch it even more.
It's the closest to that, except they use it's not like a game for a prize or anything.
Because don't they use YouTubers?
It's just to tell the story, and they use YouTubers. That's what I was trying to say.
Oh, sorry.
It's not a game for a prize or anything, and they use YouTubers. And if you are a person who watches YouTube a lot, which so this may not appeal to anybody who watches my videos who are like the older people, because I suspect that a lot of the people, I don't mean to be offensive or anything, but I suspect that a lot of the knitters and crocheters who watch me don't really get into the whole YouTube culture
Yeah.
of the young folk, whereas I have four kids who came up right at the height of, because YouTube is only like 10 or 11 years old,
That
so my
blows my
kids,
mind every time I hear it.
what, that is 10 years old.
Yes, because I always think of
You
it as
feel,
being older than that.
oh, you think of it as being around forever.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's so my kids came up in the height of YouTube. So these are all people that they watch. So I'm aware of these people, of who these people are, even though I don't watch them. A lot of times because they do show up in the videos of people that I do watch,
Hmm.
or I've heard my kids say, "Oh, I've watched a video or two. I don't watch them regularly, but I watch a video or two of such and such because my kids like them."
Hmm.
So that's enough for me. I recognize enough of these people that it made the show interesting to me.
Yeah.
And so, in preparation for the fourth season of Escape the Night to come on, they are making seasons 1 through 3 available to watch free for a limited time.
No.
So, and I don't know how long they're gonna let you watch it free, but like I said, season 4 starts on July 11th. So I bet you money they're gonna stop it before by July 11th.
Man, I don't need
So
that much time. I'm gonna start watching this tonight. We're done with this call. We're
exactly,
hanging up now.
I'm thinking of going back and rewatching it myself because season 4 is that they're calling it Escape the Night All Stars. Season 4 is going to be bringing back a bunch of the YouTubers who were in seasons 1 through 3
Yeah.
because the whole thing. Not to give too much away, just in case anybody watching this with me actually plans to go back and watch Escape the Night, but it's it's supposed to be where it has a bit of a sci-fi element because when you watch the first season, you think, oh, they're just doing one of those murder mystery dinners
Mm.
because the first season is everybody in like retro clothing and
They're
stuff,
doing
like
the
night.
Agatha Christie.
Yeah, it's like an Agatha Christie murder mystery dinner type situation. But then you figure out a little bit later that there's more of a supernatural element to it
Ooh.
that they've been
Like hinting at.
there's a supernatural element that they're not just doing a murder mystery dinner, they've actually been transported to like another dimension.
Ooh. Don't
And
spoil
so
anything else.
they're
Don't ruin anything.
okay.
Because I am gonna
Okay.
watch it.
Okay. So so it is mainly for telling the story, and Joey Graceffa wrote it.
Mm.
So, and I know a lot of people would think it's cheesy, and maybe it is cheesy. A lot of people thought Who Done It was cheesy,
Man, but
um,
sometimes you just
and
want some cheese.
and maybe it is cheesy, but I like cheese, and
Me too.
there's enough for me to like if I recognize who all the different YouTubers are,
Yeah.
and knowing that there is a
A storyline?
improvisation element to
Yeah.
it, where each of the YouTubers doesn't really know which one's going to get eliminated next.
Yeah.
And there are puzzles in it where they do have to solve these different puzzles.
Mm.
Because Joey wrote the story.
But it's not like set in stone who's gonna get eliminated.
Yeah, it's not saying so. I remember watching the behind the scenes of it, and there was because I don't know why, but for some reason I watched part of one of these seasons on my Hoopla
Hoopla.
because they have it on DVD, and so I was able to get it from the library. I can't remember why because I know that I paid for. I this was the show that convinced me to try paying for YouTube Red
Mhm.
because there was. I mean, I'd seen some shows that they're offering on the premium version of YouTube, and I thought, oh, that kind of looks interesting, but not enough for me to pay.
Yeah.
And then or even not even enough for me to use I hold on to free trials like they're gold.
Hmm.
And so a lot of times I don't sign up even for a free trial until I know that there's a show that I want to watch.
Yeah.
And so I waited, and then when I heard about Escape the Night, I was like, oh yeah. I think I might have borrowed the first episode or two from the library and saw that I liked it
Mhm.
and then signed up for my free trial to watch the rest. I think that might have
Okay.
been what I did. Because I was trying to remember why on earth I would have got it from the library when I remember paying for YouTube Red. But I think that's what I did. I think I borrowed it from the library to see. And then I got the rest of it. Because with the library, you can't, with Hoopla, this is sidebar, with Hoopla, we have Hoopla through our library. And Hoopla from you can different libraries can subscribe different ways, but with our library, you get to do audiobooks, videos like movies or TV shows, and comic books.
Mhm.
But they only let you do 4 checkouts a month, which
What?
is which is fine. I have other stuff that I can do, but so 4 checkouts a month, I guess I understand. But what I don't understand is that an episode of a TV show counts as one checkout.
A whole checkout.
Yes, I thought when I went to check out Escape the Night, I thought I was checking out the whole season as
What
one
is
checkout.
that nonsense?
No, you only get to check out one episode as a checkout.
So that's 4 episodes a month. That's not even. What is that?
What kind of binge is that? Seriously. So I end up not using my Hoopla checkouts, and they don't roll over to the next month. And
What?
I've and our library has had this service for. I think they started using it because they got rid of a different service they had, RB Digital, and they
Mhm.
started this service like I think it's been 4 months ago, maybe they started this service. And I've barely checked out anything because I'm so nervous about after past that first month. That first month when I got it, it was like, oh, this is cool. And then it's like, I'm sorry, guys, there is a gnat in
Oh, I
here.
feel you. There's my dog has caught 2 flies out of the air since we've been talking.
But the that first month I got all excited about it. And then I ran through my my checkouts once I realized because like I had checked out two other things first, and then I
Mhm.
checked out Escape the Night, and I thought, oh, this will be good. I'll binge on this whole thing. And then I realized after I checked it out that they were counting one episode as a checkout, so I only got to watch 2 episodes, and then I was done for the month. And so
Man.
after that, that made me. I know it's crazy, but it made me wary of using the service because I felt like, okay, I'll use up all my checkouts for a month, and then I'll be aggravated till the month rolls over. So
But
I, it's
then
like I'm saving them,
but then you
but
don't
then
use them.
exactly I save them so much that I forget to go use the service. So months have gone by and I haven't used the service.
That's so silly.
I know, it's so silly, and that's why. Like I checked out a book. I finally checked out a book the other day because I'm like, okay, I'm getting to the end of the month. So even if I check out 4 books right now, then or check out 4 episodes of something right now, then the month starts over on Monday. So
Mhm.
because I didn't want to get caught like in the middle of a series because I tend to read books in series,
Yeah.
just like you watch TV in series, and I didn't want to get like in the middle of a series and have to wait 3 weeks to check out the next book.
Yeah.
So I thought, well, I'll wait till the end of the month but so far that's not working either.
I am so glad that they made that free though. Where do I need to go to look at it?
I think when you go on the front page of YouTube, it shows it to you because that's how I found out that Escape the Night was coming back. They showed me the trailer.
Oh, okay.
They showed me the trailer on the front page.
I'm going to check this out right now. I also don't
But
use YouTube on the computer very often. I always use it on my phone. So maybe I need to go to trending or something because on my front page it just shows me like a bunch of videos like for my subscriptions. Let's see.
you're looking at it on your phone.
No, I'm on the computer right now since I've already got the computer up. Let me go to trending. See what's up there.
See, I always get recommended on my front page.
I get recommended, but my recommended is recommended of like things that I've already watched or like more Markiplier videos,
And then
more these videos.
when you keep scrolling down and scrolling down, it starts to show you things.
Yeah, but I don't go that far. I just typed in escape the night. I'm
Well,
gonna see if I can.
yeah, I was about to say, just type in "Escape the
Ooh,
Night."
yep. Season 3, episode 1. Season 2, episode. Yeah. Let's see. Is it? I guess it's just on his channel. It looks like.
Yeah, I think that's where it is. I don't know 100%.
Yeah, I see Escape the Night season 3. Yeah, it looks like it's just on his channel. Sweet. Well, I will go check that out then, because I don't watch much Joey Graceffa. I watched um I watched a few videos because he does videos with or he did videos with Strawberry 17, and I used to watch a lot of her videos. I'm still subscribed to her. I just haven't watched much of her stuff lately because she's like kind of going a new direction. It's not my favorite, but I still like her. It's just the direction she's going in I don't really like so much. But I watched some of the videos that he did with her because they're friends or they were. I don't know if they still are, but he watching just his videos, like his vlogs, was not my favorite. Like he was not that I think he's about it. He was just like I don't know. I guess rubbed me the wrong way. It was just not super entertaining to me. He was not like
Mhm.
I don't know. I guess, but the show, which I didn't like, I knew that he like hosted it. I guess I didn't realize that he wrote that show. I didn't realize that he wrote books or did any of that nonsense. So that is all of
Yeah,
this is news to me.
yeah, yeah. His book is like um, young adult dystopian fiction
Okay.
situation. The first book of the series is called Children of Eden. And it's at my library, so I guess I could check it out. But I don't read young adult anymore, so
Yeah, I feel like I have heard the name of that book before, but did not realize that that was him. I guess.
but yeah, I think when I saw behind the scenes, if I remember correctly, um, the behind the scenes video was talking about how he had hired this production company to come up with all the puzzles and stuff that are
Hmm.
in the show. So he hired them to do that. So he didn't create the puzzle. So he doesn't know how to
Who
do both.
wins? Who's? Oh man. Okay, that's cool.
Because he's out there doing the thing with them.
Oh,
The
that's
only,
cool.
the only he doesn't know who's going to get eliminated when. Um, I don't want to tell you anymore because I don't want to spoil it for you. But
You're good. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna go watch it. We can talk about this. I guess we can talk about it on the Tuesday night nighter because I'm definitely gonna watch this like in the next few days before they take it off because now I got that pressure of the time limit.
yeah, I might watch it too. It might give me something to do while I'm trying to get some of this
Crocheting, knitting.
yeah, knitting and crocheting done because I've already watched it once, so it's not something where I really need to have a heads up. But at the same time, I feel like because I think it's been over a year since the third season ended,
Hmm.
and I watched it because I started watching the first season right when the third season had either just started or just wrapped up, something like that. So I
Yeah.
was able to watch all three seasons, blue, blue, blue. And then I was like, is there going to be a four? Is there going to be four? Is there going to be four?
Yeah, I'm definitely super excited to check this out then.
I mean, this show is no, I don't know, Game of Thrones
Man, I could not
Sopranos
handle that.
or
Game of Thrones is
whatever,
too much for me.
whatever the hot, popular, well written show is, whatever. But I liked it. I enjoyed it, and I wanted to see more of it.
Yeah.
So, anything else on your list you want to talk about?
Let's see. Let's go down the list. So I have people saying "How are you?" as a statement.
Let's go ahead and
Lion
do that.
King. Do that
Let's
one.
go ahead and do
Okay.
that. I
So
already can tell you I'm not going to want to do Lion King, but go ahead.
all right, that's fine. Um, and it just looks like my camera is just not coming back today. So
Nope, that's why I just switched it so that my face is on camera the whole time.
okay, sweet. Yeah, I think it may just be my phone overheating or whatever. But I don't understand, and I don't know if it's just over in this area, or maybe you can tell me if it's like over, if it's just a southern thing or something. I don't understand people saying "How are you?" as a statement, not expecting a response. Because "How are you?" is a question. It ends in a question mark. But normally if you ask a question, you leave an appropriate pause waiting for someone to respond to said question. But I'm finding, especially in fast food, like people, whenever I go through a drive-through window, whenever I show up at fast food or something, but also like other places too, I'm finding that people will say it as a courtesy, but not, it has become a phrase and not the question that it once was. So I was at the drive-through yesterday. Actually, I don't think it wasn't even yesterday, it was this morning. I went to the drive-through to get a sausage biscuit before the farmers market. And I pull up and the girl's like, "Hey, how are you?" Okay, so what we've got, like, didn't leave a pause for me to say how I'm doing, didn't leave a pause for me to say, "Oh, fine, thanks." Like, she literally did not even leave a pause for "fine, thanks," which is two words. She just said, "Oh, hey, how are you? So you had this, this, and this, and blah blah blah." And I'm like, mm. I opened my mouth to answer, and then I just closed it right back up. I was like, "Oh, I guess this is not meant the way that I thought it was meant." And it's just like, it's frustrating to me because I guess it's just irritating to me because I don't want you to ask how I am if you don't care.
Yeah,
Like, if
yeah.
you, like, you could have said literally anything, just like, "Oh, hi." Like, you don't have to say the "how are you" part. You could just say
Mhm.
"hi," or like, any other kind of greeting, but asking "how are you" and not caring how I am is very frustrating, or even pretending to care. Because I'll say "Hey, how are you?" and not, like, to customers, and not know who they are, not really, like, I don't know anything that's going on in your life or anything, but I'll say "Hey, how are you?" and wait for a response. I say, "Hey, how are you?" And they say, "Oh, fine, blah blah blah." I'm like, "Oh, okay," and then blah blah. Like, it's meant to be a jumping off point for at least mild small talk. Like,
Uh-huh.
but people will just say it and then continue going as if it was like, as if there was no question mark there, which is frustrating. And I don't know, is that just an up here thing? Do people do that over there? Because
I
I
don't
feel like I didn't really notice it until.
I mean, I feel like I've heard people do that before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't hear it that often, but then again, I don't leave the house. So,
True.
but I feel like I've heard people do that before. I think it's just a matter of, especially here in the service industry, we're taught to try to be polite, but you also are trying to get on with business. So it
Then
just
just
becomes
don't say the "how are you" part. That problem is solved so simply. Don't say "how are you." Ooh, you are breaking up real bad. Are you still there? Hello? Art thou still there?
see if she
Ooh,
comes
hang
back.
on. Time out. Because
Okay,
you
well
were
there you
breaking
go.
up real bad. You lost all kinds of signal. It wasn't me, it was you, because I just saw it go black on the YouTube screen too on my computer. That was all you, ma'am.
Oh, I am sorry. I thought it was you because I was just talking.
Yeah, back up a few sentences.
All I was saying was that what was I saying? It
Uh
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, the how are you? I get what you're saying. Don't say how are you if you're not gonna mean it.
or at
Yeah.
least pretend to mean it.
Hmm. Don't ask how are you, because I feel like I've heard a variation um of that complaint of being sincere and asking people
Hmm.
how they are. Don't ask the question if you don't really want to hear the answer.
Yeah.
So what else is on your list?
Let's see. You said you didn't want to talk about Lion King.
Yep.
Um, so the last two things, let me check both of those off my list. So the last two things I have on my list are Sharks in the Water and royalty soaps.
Okay, I am dying. Royalty soaps.
All right. Are you dying to hear what it is, or are you just dying because it's hot?
I'm just dying to hear what this is. I can't even picture.
It is a brand. I have been
Okay.
obsessed over the last few days, and by few days, I mean probably a few weeks actually, with watching these videos on YouTube. It's a YouTube channel called Royalty
Okay.
Soaps. And go ahead and write this down because you need to go check her out. It doesn't even matter what video you watch because they are all just so wholesome and so sweet. And I don't understand. And she makes just like the prettiest soaps. And it's just this girl making soaps, and she and her husband and her brother works for her now, and it's the same kind of general principle with every episode of they take the oil mixture, they take the lye water, they blend them together, and that is the base of making soap. So if you just do that,
Uh-huh.
you have soap. And so they do that and they blend it until it's like this like the consistency of melted ice cream, and then they'll mix in a
Uh-huh.
fragrance and they'll mix in the colors, and they pour them into these huge like slab molds, and they'll make all kinds of designs, and they'll mix up another batch and put it in a piping bag and like pipe frosting soap on top, and then they like cut it, and she it's just her doing that every time with different colors and sparkles and just talking, but it is just so wholesome and relaxing to watch, and I don't understand because normally I don't watch those kinds of videos. Like I originally started watching it because I was looking into soap making because I was wondering like, oh, how hard is it to make soap? Because I was
Okay,
looking.
you don't need
Oh
to
no, I
make it.
know,
You do the darn thing.
I know that, but I like so sometimes I just get in these bouts of I just want to learn how to make things, and I love the process of making things, you know. And
Uh-huh.
even though I don't need to add more things to my repertoire of things I'm doing for like markets and stuff like that, or like my business, but like eventually I could make soap. Not right now, but like I don't know, 5 years down the road, I'd like once this henna thing's getting way off the ground and people are like, I need more things from Maya Mendy. I can make a soap. But man, watching these videos, are you looking it up right now?
Why would I do that?
Because you are so ever so curious. She's just so wholesome. They live in Texas, and it's just her and her brother and her husband, and her daughter and son come on camera every once in a while. They're little babies, and they're just so sweet. She makes Alice in Wonderland soaps, and she for the entire month of June. Right now is her birthday month, and so for the entire month of June, she makes soaps themed after things that just she likes that are just her. Like for her birthday, so they made an Egyptian soap because she like loved everything Egyptian, including the song Walk Like an Egyptian. They made several Alice in Wonderland soaps because she loves that one. The one that they did today was based on the Swiss Family Robinson because she and her brother used to watch a version of the film, I guess. I see it on TV now. Yeah, it's just her blending soap and talking about making soap and all kinds of stuff. It's just so wholesome. I don't understand why I continue to watch it because it's the same like method every time of blend, add color, add fragrance, pour into slab mold, and then bam, you got soap. But it's just I really enjoy watching it every time.
And you see, that seems to be a trend with you. You seem to enjoy watching people make things.
Yeah, I guess I do because I used to watch a lot of people like drawing too. I watch artists like and not even them talking, just time lapses of them drawing things and watching people make perfumes and make jewelry and make special effects costumes, and I like watching people create. It is a thing I enjoy. And I especially like her channel just because it is so wholesome. There's no like negativity. You don't worry about any tea being spilt or any of that. It's just it's just her talking about Things that make her happy. At the end of every episode, she always says, or at the end of every video, she always says, "Go out and do something that makes you happy." Whether that's something,
Oh,
something, and she just lists things that make you happy, that could make you happy. It's just
oh.
so wholesome. You should
See,
watch it. Watch it and
in,
get back to me.
in contrast to the podcast that I listen to, Sawbones, where at the end of every episode they say, "Don't drill a hole in your head."
Don't drill a hole in your head. Well, that is
Yes,
good advice, I guess.
yes, it is good advice. You'd have
But
to
yeah.
listen to. They're a medical history podcast, so
Uh,
that's why that makes sense because drilling a hole in your head used to be a thing.
yes. Yes. Isn't
So
that is
that's why they say at the end of every episode, "Don't drill a hole in your head."
maybe I'll go check that out. Maybe I'll go listen. Send me an episode of that podcast, and I'll send you one of my favorite videos of royalty soaps, and we will watch them. And
That would be fine.
we'll get back to each other on Tuesday Night Natter.
That sounds good.
But doesn't
That's
it just look even? It even just looks so wholesome.
yeah.
Her dad and brother helped build her a studio in their new like backyard that they lived in, and she just makes soap, and every month then they have a release date of the soaps that they made that month, and so you can go to her Etsy page and buy a bar of the soap that they made that month.
Oh,
It's
how
so
sweet.
wholesome. I want to
And
buy some, but I don't have soap money.
what was the other thing on your list?
Sharks in the water.
Oh, good Lord. What? You're nowhere near any sharks. So let's hear
I'm
what you got
not
to say about
yet,
let's
but
hear what you
man,
got to say about sharks in the water.
people at work, and I was not afraid of sharks, but people at work are like, "Oh, did you hear about all these sharks showing up at the beaches?" And I'm like, "Sharks showing up at the beaches? What are you?"
Yeah,
And they're like, "Yeah, all these."
there have been sharks getting people getting bitten by sharks at North Carolina beaches. I'm like, what?
Exactly.
That's why there's sharks at North Carolina beaches.
That's what I'm saying. And people are like, and everybody's going on vacation right now because it's summer. You and I are going on vacation in September because that's when it's cheap for us. But everybody's going on vacation right now to like Myrtle Beach and all this stuff. And they're like, ooh, I hope I don't get bit. I'm afraid to go out in the water. I don't want. And I'm like, I was saying, because my knowledge previous to this, before we started talking about, like at the beginning of the conversation, was like at beaches, people go out specifically and they'll go and they'll tag sharks. So, and they'll have these little like uh these little mechanical tags or whatever, so that whenever the shark comes near the beach, it'll sound this little alarm so everybody knows, oh, now's not a time to be in the water because there's sharks nearby. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
knew that this is a thing that they do, and I assume they do it at most beaches that are populated and that are well like regulated or whatever. And then they start showing me all these videos of these sharks at North Carolina beaches and these people standing in the water and not realizing there's a shark near them because they can't see it in the water and blah 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 and all this stuff. And I'm like, if that's happening at North Carolina beaches, what is going to happen when I go to a beach down in Mexico? Because
You're gonna
in
be
my
fine.
head, Mexican beaches are a lot less regulated than North Carolina than United States beaches.
Calm yourself down.
I
You will
wasn't
be
afraid, and now I am. I was nowhere. I was not even. Sharks were not on my mind whatsoever, and now I'm
and
afraid
we
to get in the water.
and we stay so close to the shore when we
So did
go.
those people in those videos.
I don't believe it.
They were like bare. They weren't even waist deep in the water.
I don't believe it.
Man, all I'm saying is you need to help me pay for my prosthetic leg if my leg gets bit off.
Yeah, right.
I can't afford to lose my hands because these are my money making hands. So
Whatever.
yeah. Sharks in the
Whatever.
water.
Whatever.
That was basically all that was on my list. People scare me about sharks and wholesome soap.
Okay, so we can talk about what I've been reading lately and then we can wrap this right up.
Yeah, since technology is not agreeing with us today.
No, but nobody's watching us anyway. This is just me and you having a chat. That's all
I
this
am
is.
so surprised too, because we usually have at least one person on Saturday.
Yeah, we usually do. But again, Saturday is the day where if people aren't out hanging out, having fun, there's also a bunch of um, stitchy YouTubers who do live streams on
Yeah.
Saturday. So I'm really not expecting anybody to listen to us. And who knows if this continues, we could switch back to switch to doing it on Facebook. See see
Maybe.
which one see which one gets more of an audience, and because I just want people to talk to. That's all.
Very true.
But anyway, okay, books. What do you
Book.
want to know about the books I read, my dear?
How many of them are perns, and why do you keep reading perns? Why do you keep telling me about your perns?
Okay, for anybody who hasn't watched the past episodes, my daughter, who even though she's old enough to drink, still can't say sex.
Perns.
So she calls any books that have sex scenes, she calls that perns.
Perns.
She can't even say porn. Perns.
Perns.
Not smut, not sex, not erotica. Perns.
Because
So if
erotica
you
makes
hear
it sound more fancy than it is. It's perns.
not smexy times,
Because that's
she
so 2009. Who says smexy? How old are you? You're late.
that's no that's not me. I picked that up from the romance blogging community
Man,
online.
they're behind.
I had never heard of smexy times
I said that
before.
in like middle school. Smexy.
So whatever.
Perns.
So no, I've been reading. Let me take a look and see what have I been reading.
What have you been reading?
What have I been reading? See,
What?
now that I want to talk about it, I feel like I'm drawing a big
Mm,
old blank as to what I've been reading. Well, basically, I am coming to the end of um my Kindle Unlimited subscription. I had a Kindle Unlimited subscription. I got another deal, 99 cents for 2 months worth. It's normally $10 a month. So that was a $20 value right there.
mm-hmm.
And usually that's the only time I use Kindle Unlimited is when I get the deals. For some reason, even though I've had it before, if you cancel it, they let you go ahead and get the deal again if you haven't had it for a few months. So I just keep signing up for it as long as they let me. Um, I find that Kindle Unlimited, for those of you who don't use it, if you are a romance reader, Kindle Unlimited is a good place to find these self-published romance readers, the romance books, I should say, romance authors. The big authors, like for a while, I was a big fan of an author called Penny Reed, and I still kind of like her books, although I've gotten a little burnt out on her style. But
Mm-hmm.
I still like her books. I have to get them from the library though because she does not do Kindle Unlimited. Kindle Unlimited does not, depending on who you hear from online, Kindle Unlimited does not necessarily do authors any favors as far as their reimbursement scheme.
Oh yeah.
So some authors feel like they can make more money just charging outright for their books.
Mm-hmm.
Um, whereas, as from what I've seen, is if an author gets a certain level of popularity, then they can sell their books without using Kindle Unlimited. If you're a self published author or a new author building up your readership, then Kindle Unlimited is helpful to those authors because they don't have anybody. So,
It gives them at
Kindle
least the
Unlimited,
people that are reading the free stuff.
yeah, Kindle Unlimited, for those who don't know, I think everybody knows, but Kindle Unlimited, for those who don't know, is basically like Netflix streaming for books, pretty much, where you pay your monthly fee and then you read as many books as you can put your eyeballs on, as long as they're marked Kindle Unlimited on Amazon. And like I said, and Amazon has struck deals with certain famous authors. So like I'm pulling up my Amazon page right now. to see, because there's always some famous authors who are on Kindle Unlimited because they make so much money. It's kind of like if you are making no money, Kindle Unlimited I think helps you make some money.
Mm-hmm.
If you're making a halfway decent amount of money, then you don't use Kindle Unlimited because you feel like you're losing money.
Yeah,
And then,
it's
but then there's authors who are making a gajillion, bajillion, like J.K. Rowling off of her Harry Potter series, where it's not going to hurt her if she doesn't make another penny off of Harry Potter.
yeah,
So she can afford to put her book in Kindle Unlimited because she's already made a ton of money
yeah.
off of it. I was trying to pull up the front page of Kindle Unlimited to see what they've got right now. That's, let's see. Okay, they've got like a Mary Higgins Clark book.
Mm-hmm.
They've got Elon Musk. They've got, I'm not going to show you the page because I don't need you to see what I've been reading.
Hmm.
Jody Poe. They've got the Divergent book by Veronica Roth. I don't know if the whole series is in there, but they've got Divergent.
I remember hearing about that series. I don't think I ever read any of them.
Um, I think they've got Harry. I seem to have seen Harry Potter in there before, but I can't remember if it's still there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, they've just got a lot. Let's see what's trending. The Overdue Life of Amy Byler, which is like a bestseller right now. What the Wind Knows, which I think is also a bestseller right now. The Dark Bones. So they have some best-selling authors that I've heard about in here. There's also a lot of, like I said, there's a lot of genre fiction, and that's what I go to. If I wanted to check out somebody popular, I'll just check them out from my library.
Yeah,
I use Kindle Unlimited to get those books that are not at my library that that are in those genres. Like I like to read a lot of the shifter books, the shifter romances, where there's the man who turns into the wolf or the bear or whatever, and he takes a human wife. There's a whole subgenre in romance called fated mates, where the alien or the shifter or the vampire or whatever,
oh yeah, we were talking about this before
yeah,
because it was
we're
like
in
that
their
movie Timer that I hated.
where in their culture there is a thing within their bodies that once they find the one, it is physically painful for them to be away from them or whatever.
Hmm.
There's some way for them to know that this person is the one, even though they've never laid eyes on them before. Kind of situation. And those books, and the authors who write those books write 5 million of them, and they hardly ever show up at my library.
Yeah,
So because they're usually self-published authors, and so Kindle Unlimited is a good place to get those. And this time around, I've been reading the usually I do the shifter ones. Somehow I fell down a rabbit hole into these alien ones that I had not been reading before. So that's what I've been reading for the past month and a half is
mm-hmm.
these alien bride type books.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the authors is two authors that I like. Um, excuse me, Ruby Dixon, who apparently, according to her bio, Ruby Dixon is not her real name, of course. Apparently, in her day job, she writes more respectable books.
Mm. Not perns. She can't
Not
have her
her.
name on these perns.
She can't have her name on these perns, so she writes more respectable books. But under the name Ruby Dixon, she writes these alien romances and motorcycle club romances, which is another thing. I've never read the motorcycle club ones though.
So before we get off the subject, how does that work out? Because like
How does
you
what work out?
having a nom de plume So say you're writing your respectable, you're writing your Harry Potters, your Games of Thrones, is
Oh,
your
Game of Thrones
books and
is
stuff.
respectable, but go
Maybe
ahead.
not Game of Thrones, but you're writing your Harry Potters, your Twilights, your I guess that's not respectable either. But you know what I mean. And
Yes.
then and then you decide, man, I want to write me a Perns. And you go to your publisher and you're like, I'm gonna write me a Perns, but you can't like how do
The
you
public,
keep that from
no,
getting out?
well, I guess it depends. I guess it depends because there are some people, from what I understand from reading, because these people put author notes in the back of their books all the time. And from what I understand, she has books that are written and they're published by regular publishers like Simon and Schuster or Doubleday or whatever,
Hmm.
and or Random House. And then under Ruby Dixon, she publishes those herself. You just write them, make sure they're error free, and then you upload them to Amazon. So she's got a whole separate account and everything under Ruby Dixon that she uploads that stuff to. So her
Okay.
publisher, so her publisher's not involved. That's that's what I understand from this situation.
Okay. Because I was
But
like, man, somebody would be making a lot of money to like leak out that, oh man, Ruby Dixon is actually J.K. Rowling. Like, you
uh,
know?
yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, there's nothing. You make it sound like she's writing awful, terrible stuff. It's a romance. Not most romance novels these days. A good majority of romance novels these days have sex scenes in them, have perns. Just it's not. Excuse me. It's not so much that she has sex in her books. It's the fact that it's a genre book because a lot of publishers, especially if you write what's considered highbrow literary fiction, the kind of books that can be studied in college classes, then
Highbrow.
then you're not supposed to lower yourself to
To
write
writing perns.
no, it's not even if there was no sex in it. You're not supposed to
Oh.
know yourself to write a romance novel or a science fiction book or a murder mystery. All of those are considered genre fiction, which is considered lowbrow by some people.
Okay, no, so back up. What would be considered not a genre fiction?
Not a genre fiction.
Give me,
Life
I
of
need a couple example books.
Life of Pi, which I hated that book by the
I didn't
way.
read it.
Atonement,
Don't even know what
which
that's about.
I had trouble understanding that book. Um,
So what I'm hearing is fictions that are real boring because that's what it sounds like.
fictions that are real boring. On
Fictions,
Beauty, on Beauty by Zadie Smith, which I found a little bit boring.
yeah,
Um,
fictions where shit don't happen. There's no magic. There's
there's no
no
magic.
sci-fi. There's no
There's
murder mystery. There's no man. What's the point?
Love in the Time of Cholera is literary fiction.
Why would you want anything in the time of cholera? That sounds bad.
Most of the stuff that we read in high school, Great Gatsby.
Okay, I guess that's the only one out of all of these that you've mentioned that I've read.
I have not made it through the end of Great Gatsby because I keep trying to read it and I don't understand what I'm reading and I put it down.
Yeah, I think I blocked it out because I read it and just don't. I mean, I feel like I understood a good bit of it at the time because I did read it in high school, or maybe I read it in college. I think I read it in high school. But I
Probably
remember,
required.
yeah, I remember. Well, there were a lot of books that were supposed to be required that I didn't end up reading. Like I never read To Kill a Mockingbird,
I was
and that
about to
was.
mention To Kill a Mockingbird. That's literary fiction.
But these all they all sound
They're not fun.
boring.
They're not
You,
fun.
what's
The way
the
the way I describe it is that literary fiction involves a lot of the characters spending time in their head or
yeah.
or what I think of as navel gazing. You spend a lot of time in the character's head where they're thinking about something that happened a long time ago, or how this egg that you cooked me for breakfast reminds me of how I used to eat eggs with my parents and how they used to always argue while we were eating breakfast and blah 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 blah.
Okay, see, but there's a better way
Meanwhile,
to do
meanwhile,
that.
meanwhile, the egg is getting cold on the table because I want to know what's happening at the table now, not what happened at the table 15 years ago.
See, there's a better way to do that because you know who else does that? Anime. Anime does that, and they do it in a not crappy way because they have these ridiculous flashbacks of someone like is reaching their hand to you to say, "Oh, great job, buddy," and then they have some flashback of their brother who's like every day for 3 years would say, "Great job, buddy," and he gave me the strength to be able to do that. Like anime does that.
But see, in anime, as with most TV and motion pictures, you can do that in a 30-second or 40-second or even 1 minute flashback.
As
But that
opposed to 10 pages.
exactly that 1 minute flashback would be 10 to 15 pages in the book, and I'd be bored to death. Whereas I don't mind it in a movie or a television show because it's 1 minute.
Man,
And
that's dumb.
and in a television and movie show, movie show, they
Movie
have
show.
to they have to there has to be action. You can't be sitting there just in people's head the whole time about what they're thinking, you know.
Mm,
And sometimes being in a character's head is good or it's helpful. Like I remember years ago, I read Sleeping with the Enemy. Can't
mm-hmm.
remember, can't remember the name of the author. Sleeping with the Enemy, and it's about this woman. I'm not going to give it away just in case you decide to read it or watch the movie. I wouldn't recommend watching the movie, but but it's this woman who escapes from her husband who is abusive. Okay.
Okay.
And in the beginning of the book, they are able to really convey the desperation of how she left with almost no money. And so she's like making sandwiches with crab apples that she stole from somebody else's yard and ketchup that she spreads on bread because that's all she had money for.
Mm-hmm.
And the desperation, and you could really feel the desperation of that. And I really enjoyed the book, even though it wasn't technically my type of book that I. Well, no, I take that back because when I read Sleeping with the Enemy back then, I read murder mysteries and suspense and sci-fi and stuff like that. Nowadays, I'm only interested in reading romance. I get bored reading murder mysteries and stuff, but
Mm.
back then I read suspense and stuff like that, and this is a suspense novel. And I would recommend the book. But the movie was they made the movie with Julia Roberts, I believe, was starring in the movie,
Ooh, I love her.
and yeah, I like her too. But the problem, and I guess the movie wasn't that bad. I only saw it once, haven't gone back to watch it. I just remember being so disappointed because they could not convey in the story, in the movie,
How
in the
desperate she
beginning part,
was.
how desperate she was in the very beginning, and how
Mm.
afraid she was to make friends with people because, she doesn't want her husband to find her and stuff. And they just could not convey that in the movie as well as they did in the book. And that was a time where being in the character's head was fine,
Yeah.
because it conveyed something, it set a mood. But most of the books that I read where they are in the character's head, to me, it doesn't set a mood. It just bores me the whole time. I'm like, when are we going to get back to what happened? Because like I tried to read another book about this. I can't remember the title of the book, so I can't even ruin it for you. But it was highly like well reviewed and stuff,
Yeah.
and it's about this husband and wife, and the wife, and they have kids, and I think both of them are writers, but the wife stopped writing to take care of the family and stuff, and the husband becomes a famous writer, and his latest book they puts out is something
Mhm.
about cheating on your spouse or something. And then she had read the book, to help him edit it and stuff. And then she finds out like the day that there's this big launch party or something that he actually did cheat on her. That one of the
Ooh.
stories in the book was true. And so the morning that she finds out about it, and or the day she finds out about it, and she's getting dressed, they're getting dressed to go to this launch party for the show, for the book.
Mhm.
There's all this pages and pages of how they first met and how they fell in love and but it's like they start out with, I'm so angry at him because I got to go to this party and we haven't decided if we're going to break up. And I just found out that you actually cheated on me. And then bam, they go into this flashback with the whole history of their relationship. And I'm like, wait a minute.
No,
I,
no. I
I
want to
don't
know
need
what's going on.
I don't need the history of your relationship because you already told me the pertinent part at the beginning. He
Is that
cheated
he cheated?
he cheated on you. Where are we going from here? Are you gonna kick him out? You gonna beat him up? What we doing? Don't go back and give me the history now.
You passed that point. It's too late
You
now.
passed that point. I don't need that now. But that book was lauded as a literary success, but it bored me because the whole time I'm reading about their relationship, I'm like skimming pages, going, okay, when are we going to get back to them at the table deciding if they're going to stay together? That's the part I want to read.
I don't understand why a lot of these books, and it may just be our time now. It may just be the way society and and media and everything is now. But I don't understand why so many of these books are considered like these great literary successes and stuff when no one, like, you don't get somebody that's like, oh man, I can't wait till I get to read Jane Eyre, man. I am so excited about Jane Eyre, and man, let me tell you about, I'm next week I'm gonna read Wuthering Heights, and I am so excited. Like, I understand.
I guess
I
there's some people, because I mean, like, they're the Austinites. There are people who think Pride and Prejudice is just the book. I haven't read it myself, but there are people who think it is the book, and they love Jane Austen's works. And I'm like,
I
I've
just don't
seen
understand.
I've
I
seen
don't
books.
understand how you can think those are like so amazing, but then also like frown upon the quote unquote genre fictions when I don't know. I don't understand why they're frowned upon, or maybe not frowned upon, but thought of as lesser when the majority of people enjoy them. And
I think it's considered lesser because the um because a lot of the books are just about action, and they feel like, I guess, I don't know. The only difference I can see between these books is that literary books, they do spend a lot of time in their heads thinking about the how what's happening in this story is a metaphor for the world condition or whatever. Whereas in genre books, a lot of times it's, this person stole this and now we've got to race across the country to get it back from them before something blows up or whatever.
yeah, I
And
just
that's not seen as reflective. That's not seen as taking time to examine the human condition and all that stuff. That's just one person's story, and that's not considered enlightening enough or whatever. But it's entertainment, but it's considered entertainment, but not teaching you anything.
okay. I guess.
But
I
then
don't
again,
know.
the books that are supposed to teach you stuff a lot of times bore me enough that I'm like, I don't want
If
to
you
read.
can't get through it, you're not learning the thing it needs to teach you if you can't get through it.
But there are people who would say, well, because I've had somebody tell me, if you can't stretch yourself to read a difficult book, then you're just not smart.
Rude.
Yeah, that is rude.
Man,
That is rude.
I'm done
So,
with this. I'm done with this conversation. It's making me angry.
no need to get angry. So Ruby Dixon, she has a series called Ice Planet Barbarians.
Mhm.
I've read, I think about 8 or 9 of the books so far. She's got like 20 books in that series. I don't know if she has finished that series yet. Um, I enjoy the series. Basically, the premise of the series, I can't knit anymore right now. The
Ooh.
premise of the series is that a bunch of women have been stolen off of Earth from by these alien um, slave traders,
Oh yeah, I
and,
remember you telling me this one.
and so they were going to sell the women, and they land on this ice planet,
Mhm.
and they can't at first they can't speak, and there's other people who live on the planet, and at first they can't, and the race that lives on the planet, most of their women died off due to an illness. There's like maybe 4 women left, and there's all these men. And so, of course, that's the base. That's where you get the basis for the romance, because, of course, the women can't get back to Earth, so they're going to pair up with these guys, and increase the population.
Mhm.
And so, I mean, and I enjoyed that series, okay, but it gets to be a little bit samey,
Yeah.
if you watch each one pair up. Then there's another author called, so I kind of read 8 of those books, and then I can't decide. I might go back and read some more before they're all on Kindle Unlimited, but so I may go back and read some more before my subscription runs out, because again, they're not at my library. Or
Mhm.
there are a few of the audiobooks, because that's most of these usually don't end up in audiobook. Hers are in audiobook, but the library Hoopla only has like the first 8 or 10 that I've already listened to. Or I think
Oh
there's
yeah.
maybe two. There maybe two I haven't read yet out of the ones that they have available. When I was kind of getting bored with that, I thought, well, I'll bounce between a few other series so that I don't get completely bored with the Ruby Dixon one, because I do want to read all of hers.
Mhm.
And so there is another series by, let's see, I've got my Goodreads pulled up so that I can remember these authors. Um, Miranda Martin.
Okay.
Miranda Martin writes a series. This is the series that I was talking to you about last time. This series is very similar to, I might not think it was similar if I hadn't already read Ice Planet Barbarians, but several of the series I read after that feel like, oh, y'all are ripping off Ruby Dixon, because
Yeah.
all are trying to do the same thing. Although I don't know which ones came first, but they all started to feel kind of the same. But
Mhm.
Miranda Martin, her series is called Red Planet Dragons of Taj.
Red Planet Dragons of Taj.
Yes. And this series, I have love hate with this series,
Mhm.
because it has a similar beginning where these slave traders try to steal the humans, and they end up crashing on this planet. The differences are these people are on a generation ship. Is this the one that we talked about before?
I don't remember. Explain generationship to me.
Okay. So Earth is super crowded. They're
Yeah.
running out of resources. So they sent these robots ahead to this planet that is like galaxies away, to terraform this planet to turn it into like Earth. And
Mhm.
then they built this ship, and all these people got on this ship, and they loaded the ship with all the like TV shows, movies, entertainment, everything, books, everything that was available that they could fit on this ship. Okay,
Yeah.
it's a huge ship. The people who get on this ship know that they're going to live and die on this ship. They're not going to see the other planet, because the other planet is far away.
Okay.
But they're doing this to make a better life for their great 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 grandchildren.
Who are gonna. Okay.
Because the people who got on the ship here are going to live and die, but they're going to have kids, and then those kids are going to have kids, and those kids are going to have kids, and then
Yes.
eventually they're going to be at the planet.
Okay. Okay.
And
That makes me think of
by
something
the
else that I can't figure out right now, but I get you.
there's a TV show that's similar to that, and I can't remember the name of the TV show. But the TV show takes place completely on the ship, whereas this, some by this time they're like three generations out, so everybody on this ship at this point has never seen Earth, except
Yeah.
in except in a movie. They've never been off the ship because the generation ship never lands anywhere. It's headed straight toward this place. So these these slave traders called the Zaslow attack the ship to steal some people. The ship crash lands on this planet called Taj. This planet is a desert planet, unlike Ruby Dixon's planet, which is all ice and snow and never
Yeah.
has summer. This is all sand and desert and red and never has winter.
Okay.
And it it went through some sort of devastation, what they called it, where they used to have cities and all this other kind of stuff, but there was a war among all the planets in their part of the universe, and so every practically all of the population got wiped out on Taj. All
Hmm.
that's left are a bunch of men, no women, just men,
Okay.
dragon men.
Dragon men.
Dragon men. So they know that their race is going to die out because
They
there's
ain't got no ladies.
no they got no ladies to make more babies. So they know their race is dying out. And then of course, these people who got crash landed onto Taj, they are too far to get to this planet that they were supposed to go to, and they are too far to get back to Earth in their lifetime. They can't get to either one of these in their lifetime. So they are resolved that they've got to be here.
Okay.
And so that is the basis of couples pairing up and making babies. That's where the romance is in that one.
Hmm.
But this one has, like I was telling your Aunt Terry, this one has more. I love hate with this one because Miranda Martin does not write the Perns as well as Ruby Dixon does,
Okay.
and she puts too much of it in her books. So
Ooh.
it's too much and it's boring. So I'm like, flip, 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 flip. But I don't quit the series because I'm interested in what they call the B plot,
Yeah.
which is all of the stuff outside of the romance part, outside of this couple, because each book has a main couple that's getting together. Outside of that couple getting together, there's all kinds of other stuff going on because, like, when they land, they have, unlike the other one where it was just women who landed, with this one there are men and women, but
Yeah.
there are some men on who land with the group. This is one guy named Gershon who has kind of incited like some racism, and he's like, okay, because the woman that he wanted,
Ended up with an alien.
it ended up with an alien. She didn't want him when she was on the ship. She'd been turning him down for years. So
Boy,
he so he should have got the message.
must
But
be racist.
she finds a dragon and they have a baby. So he starts a whole human first movement saying we need to kick all the aliens out because they found the big city on the planet.
Hmm.
And they move in because the dragon who paired up with the lady was like, okay, these are her people, so I guess I gotta let all of them in, even though this is my city.
Mm.
Well, it is, so he lets them in, and then Gershon wants to kick all the dragon people out.
You can't be, man. The problem with
E-
humans.
Even though it's their planet. But Gershon has talked some of these humans over here into believing that the human race is going to die out and that we're going to get rescued eventually. So you can't be having babies with these dragons, but they're not going to get rescued.
No, he's
So there's
just
a whole bunch,
butthurt.
so there's a whole bunch of this kind of stuff going on
Yeah.
because because the dragon people are all spread out. So like there's some at the city, and then they find out that there's another settlement of dragon people over here, and and so now these people over here don't want to live with these people over here, and there's a
That
whole
sounds like a
bunch of
bunch of stress, man.
it's interesting though, but there's a whole bunch of storyline
Yeah,
outside of the romance part.
but she keeps
And she
doing too much
and
turns.
which I don't mind seeing the romance part and the dragon and the lady get together because she kind of makes that part interesting of how they get together, but too much burns.
Mm,
Too much, and she doesn't write it well. She wrote it well, then that'd be fine. But sometimes it's like very repetitive the way she writes it.
yeah,
So you don't need to have 5 sex scenes when they're all going to be the same.
yeah,
So you can give us all. I like it better when a book has the flirting. Excuse me. I like it when the book has the couple flirting, 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 getting to know each other, and then at the end, you can have a sex scene or maybe two,
yeah. The way
but
Korean dramas do,
not
where
so
you,
all the way through. Exactly. Like well, K dramas take it to the extreme because we don't by the time you watch 20 episodes,
yeah,
we have to wait 15 episodes to see them hold hands, and then on
man.
episode
Remember when we were watching? Oh, which show was it? I think it was Gloria
Gloria,
that we were watching, and we were like 50 episodes into that show, man, and they had their first kiss, and we
and
lost it.
we
It
screamed.
was
I
so
remember
good.
we screamed. I miss watching the K dramas like that.
Yeah.
But it's very hard. I feel guilty because you have to have the subtitles, and I feel guilty watching something with subtitles and not doing anything else with my hands.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Just
yeah.
because I've gotten in the habit of knitting while I watch TV or playing something on my iPad while I watch TV because I can hear it in the background.
Mm.
And so I feel guilty. The only time I indulge in that these days is when I watch Terrace House with your sister.
Oh yeah. Man, I wish there was a way for us to like stream and watch something together. Like so that you and I could watch something or like a you know
Well,
what I mean?
we used to do that. We used to do that. Remember when you were in college?
What did we watch? How did we do that? The last thing I
We,
remember us watching together was the Kate Nash concert.
we can figure it out. We'll figure it out again. We used to do that.
Because we could get like Crunchyroll or something and watch something together on Crunchyroll or Drama Fever.
Yep, we could do that. We used to do that.
Ooh, and the YouTubers could watch it with us. We could Twitch stream.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. But we could do that. We could do that.
We will figure it out. Hopefully before August when they shut this operation down.
Yeah, yeah. If they shut us down, then I guess we'll be doing this on Facebook.
Yeah. Which will be a
Yep,
big bummer because I miss talking to like Nightingale and them.
yep, yep. Well, we are at 2 hours and 10 minutes. I hear a door creaking in your vicinity.
Yeah, that's the roommate. I can't believe my camera just went out and did not come back at all.
I know that's crazy. That is absolutely crazy. But I also feel myself starting to lose my voice.
Yeah.
And for some reason, the air conditioning never made it into this part of the house.
That's funny.
And for some other reason, people always say that the hottest part of the day is like 12 noon or something like that. No, it is hella hot in here at 8 p.m. if the air conditioner has not made its way. this way.
Oh, I bet, because that room is just sitting there baking the whole time.
Exactly. So it is hot in here for some reason. I don't know why the air conditioner is not working its way in here, but I am feeling hot. And even though I have the overhead light on, I can see that my that I'm not looking very well right
Mm,
now. So, and I want to talk more about books, but I need to get my thoughts together
okay.
because apparently I did not have my thoughts together last
Well,
time.
we can save it for the natter,
And we can save it for the natter. I had a couple books that I thought were pretty good that I
and I
read.
will go watch Escape the Night.
Yes, yes. And don't forget, we're supposed to be. Oh,
Oh
did we discuss? Did we mention that Dream Daddy is on iOS? Oh, but
no,
you don't have an iOS device.
I have an iPad, but I have Dream Daddy on the laptop.
Oh, that's right. You have Dream Daddy. Okay.
Hmm. Have you
See,
played it?
no, I haven't. I just downloaded it because it was just featured of the day, and I think they just put it on iOS a few days ago. Because when I went online to look it up, I
Mm.
saw something on Twitter saying it was just released on iOS, like on the 25th or something. I
Man,
just thought
that's something we should figure out how to Twitch stream because I feel like people would enjoy watching you and I play through Dream Daddy. That would be funny.
that would be weird. Um,
What?
have you
How
have
is
you
that
have,
weird?
have you played through Dream Daddy already?
I played through one scenario of it, I think.
Well, I haven't. I was going to try to play because remember Tuesday we're talking video games.
Yeah.
So
I have downloaded a few games on my phone. I re-downloaded Zombies Run, which I guess isn't really a game, but I re-downloaded it because I'm like, man, I need to do some moving.
yeah, I re-downloaded it too, but it still haven't gotten around because I want to get something to put on my arm to hold my phone so it registers my
Oh,
movement better.
see, I always put it in the back pocket.
Well, see, I don't have pockets in all of the shorts and stuff that I use for walking and running.
I just wear
So,
jeans.
so I wanted to get something that I
Yeah.
could put on my arm just in case I wear something that doesn't have pockets. So, so that was that thought there. But so, okay, we are wrapping this up. We didn't
Hmm.
have anybody in the live stream today, but that is fine. Hopefully,
Ooh,
we had a lot of good discussion today.
yeah.
So, hopefully, you and I,
Before we leave, make me a moderator in the chat. That way we shouldn't have to worry about that next time. I think I should stay a moderator. Did you have to
yeah,
remake?
I think it does. I think it does. Um, because I think I've seen what's her name be a moderator when
Yeah.
she comes back. So if not, then we can do that next time. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, we didn't have anybody in chat, which is fine. So hopefully, if somebody watched this video and made it all the way to the end, thanks a lot. I feel like we had some good discussion today, even though it was a bit long
And my video cut out.
and your video cut out, but we can hear your voice, so that's fine. So, so hopefully we will be back here next Saturday, and hopefully I will actually have something to show, something crafty. If not, then we'll just do other than stitching again.
Yep.
So everybody have a good weekend. Those of you in the U.S., 4th of July is going to come up before you see us again. So have
Oh,
a
I totally
happy,
forgot about that.
yep, have a happy 4th of July. Eat some hot dogs and burgers for me.
Man, I'm gonna be working. I was
Of
not
course,
lucky enough to get that day off.
of course you will be working. Of
Hmm.
course you will.
We
It'll
should
be
have a sign
Thursday.
off.
Well, we don't have a sign off. We
We need to
can't
come
think
up
of.
with a sign off. We need to come
Well,
up with one on the spot.
well, I can't come up with one on the spot because I'm not that creative.
Um,
So,
um, stay crafty. No, no, that was lame. I feel ashamed
no,
for that. I need something
Well,
better.
this is, yep, this is the end of Sandy's Gone Wild.
Craft is after dark.
We'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye.